Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel.
In today's video, we will be transforming this simple sunset into a beautiful natural landscape sunset.
We will be using Camel Premium poster colors in our video. Come on, let's begin. As usual, we are first beginning with the sky. I am going to use 2 or 3 colors to make the sky simple, pretty and aesthetic. Starting with the yellow.
Since the background was already orange, the yellow and orange are giving quite the sunset vibes. Next, I am going to choose a teal color to paint and blend into yellow. Blend teal and yellow slowly and in a same direction as it gives a beautiful sky vibes. Here I am going to blend it all again to make sure there are no hard brush strokes on the painting, and then it looks like a beautiful blended sky. After we are done with sky, I am painting some mountains using black paint on both sides of the painting. Instead of making them identical, I am giving each mountain a slightly different shape and height to make the landscape look more natural. Use a little blue or teal if you don't want to paint the mountain all black. Blend smoothly so that there are no brush strokes clearly seen and it looks well blended mountain. Notice how just adding these mountains immediately changed the entire composition. The bright sky even becomes more bright because of the contrast. Next, I am adding clouds. So now I am adding soft clouds using warm yellow and orange. I am gently dabbing the paint instead of brushing it smoothly. This creates soft, fluffy textures that look much more realistic. The secret is not to overdo the clouds. Leaving some open space helps the sunset glow even more beautifully. Next, I will be painting the sun. It is my favorite part. I am placing it right between the mountains so it becomes the main focal point of the painting. Using white paint, I am creating a bright glowing circle and then softly blending around the edges to give it a natural halo effect. A sunset doesn't feel complete without its reflection. So now we will be painting reflection on the water. As you can see, the already painted water looks quite dry with all the brush strokes clearly visible. We have to get rid of that. We are painting the water using different shades of blue and a little bit water in our brush to blend it all smoothly. Instead of making one solid line, I am leaving small gaps between the strokes because reflections on moving water are never perfectly smooth. That's definitely starting to look better. The lake is beginning to look much more realistic. Using yellow mixed with little white, now I am going to paint broken horizontal strokes on the water. I am going to give a sunset reflection feeling to the water. I am adding little orange near the sun to make it look like the sun is reflecting on the mountains. I have decided to add a little orange on the reflection also, but it turns out to be a bad idea. So we are again making out some yellow horizontal lines to cover up the mess we made using the orange. Next, I am adding white highlights across the surface of the water. These thin horizontal lines create the illusion of gentle ripples. One tip is to keep your brush very light. If the lines become too thick, they can overpower the reflection. Tiny details like this make huge difference. Now I am creating the foreground using dark green paint mixed with a little bit brown. Now I am painting grassy areas on both sides and I am trying to leave a narrow pathway leading towards the water. This small pathway naturally guides the viewer's eyes into the painting, which makes the landscape feel deeper and more inviting. After blending different shades of green randomly, now I am going to add small bushes or small grass on the greener areas using a dry brush with a little bit green paint on it. Every peaceful landscape needs a beautiful tree, and starting with the tree and then slowly building towards lots of thin branches. There is no need to rush this step. The more natural and uneven the branches are, the more realistic the tree will look. I am also adding another smaller tree on the opposite side to balance the composition. To add a pop of color, I am painting soft pink blossoms on the tree. I am using the tip of my brush to make tiny dots instead of individual flowers, which are going to probably take a lot of time. Taking a little bit of paint on the tip of the dry brush and painting it on the tree like this creates a very natural look of blooming blossoms. I absolutely love how this bright pink contrasts with the green sky. Using the same dry brush technique, I am painting some light green and dark green leaves on the painting which is on the other side. It looks much more realistic and easy to paint with this technique. After we are done with the tree, we are going to add some tiny flowers because the foreground looks a lot empty. So I am adding little small orange flowers toward the bushes. These tiny details may seem insignificant, but they bring life and freshness to the entire painting. Sometimes it takes the smallest details that make the biggest impact. Calling it finished, I am checking the entire painting one last time. I feel like I don't like the brush strokes on the water reflection, so I am trying to blend them a little bit to make them look little bit more realistic. Sometimes random final touches like this help everything come together beautifully. And that's the completed painting. It's amazing how a simple background with just a sky and water can be transformed into a peaceful sunset landscape. Thank you so much for watching, and now I will see you in my next painting tutorial.